Hey guys, so welcome to the webinar today. My name is Jenelle Summers and I am going to present to you a little bit about this Beachbody coaching opportunity. So I'm running a little late. I'll try and get through this quickly as possible because I know that a lot of you that are on this webinar, you're busy, and I just really appreciate that you even took the time to hear more about this. So real quick, just want to say, if you're on this webinar today, probably someone thinks that you would rock this business. They already see that you have what it takes to make an amazing coach. So congratulations. I'm going to really try and fill you in. I'm not perfect, so if I forget something, please reach out to the coach that invited you and ask questions. I know when I first joined as a coach, I asked so many questions. It was ridiculous. So I totally get it, and I'm sure whoever you're joining or whoever you decide to join gets it too. They had the same thing. It's like, what about this? What about that? And so no worries. I'm going to try to cover what I can today, but chances are if you're on here, that person already believes in you and wants to do this business with you. So congratulations. So I wanted to start with when I was first introduced to the idea of doing this business opportunity, where I was mentally, my perspective on it. And I really was very skeptical, I just have to say. And I say that because I know that probably some of you are skeptical as well, or your significant other is very skeptical about it and going, don't do that, don't do that. That's very, very common. I was skeptical even given the fact that the person telling me about this amazing business opportunity was my sister, and I trust my sister, and I know that she wants what's best for me, and I know she's an extremely smart businesswoman. I've seen that since she was in grade school. She's always had that entrepreneur, business mind, and she was like, you really should do this. You love fitness, and it's something that you've always wanted to do. And here, you have to know, I went the traditional route. I got my degree in business management. I worked in human resources management. That was my career. And I just really took that traditional path, even though on the side, I loved fitness. It was always my passion. It had been my passion since I was a teenager, honestly. But I really, I never thought I could have a full-time career in fitness. I had tried on the side some personal training, and I definitely was teaching some fitness classes on the side and loved that, but you can't make a living doing that. And so I loved fitness, but I never felt like it was something I could do as a full-time income. And my husband and I both really needed to work full-time. So I never felt I had an in to the fitness industry until this came along. But still, when Shalene first told me about it, I was like, Shalene, I am so busy. I am, working around the clock. I was at the time obviously working full-time, but I also had a secondary job, plus trying to just be the best mom and wife that I could possibly be. And I thought if someone asked me to do an extra load of laundry, I would say no. I'm out. I can't do any more in my life. I was getting very little sleep. I was like running the rat race, and I was on such a cycle that I didn't even have time to take a moment and just go, what do I want to do with my life? Is this what I want to do? Don't get me wrong, though. I did not hate my job. I'm not like a rags to riches story. I mean, we both had to work full time, but it wasn't like I was, millions of dollars in debt or anything like that. I didn't. Let me just say I was comfortable. I was extremely busy and not like living out my passion, but I was comfortable with that. And so when she brought this up, it just kind of sounded too good to be true to me. And I really thought, okay, network marketing, this is something that some of my other friends or relatives have done. And in watching, it's not something that appeals to me. It seemed very much like they were constantly trying to sell, and they were doing home parties, and they were on the phone, and they were doing, just certain things that I was like, I don't want to fill my life with that. I don't want my evenings to be filled with, doing a home party or being on the phone with trying to talk someone into buying something or whatever. I didn't want any part of that. And so I'm happy to tell you today that you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that with this business. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of that stuff. I mean, definitely there's lots of Beachbody coaches who have, been in other network marketing businesses that they loved. But I'm just telling you that, this is a little bit different, whether that's a good thing for you or not. It is a little bit different. My initial thought was it's going to be all about sales. And I don't know about you, but I just did not want to be that person that, when you walk in the room, everyone's like, oh my gosh, here she's coming, don't talk to Jenelle. She's going to try and talk you into buying, TurboFire, or she's going to try and talk you into becoming a coach. Not at all. That's not the case. Ask anyone that sees me on a regular basis in person. They will know, they will tell you I do not do anywhere remotely near that. If someone, I've got a bug flying around here. Sorry, this is live. If someone has a question about fitness or whatever, I'll talk to them about fitness. But, I'm never like approaching strangers in the grocery store or, trying to, get on the topic of fitness with someone I just met or whatever. It's not icky like that. So I had to include this photo. That's just kind of my thought initially, and I'm over it now because once I understood the business, once I took the time to open my mind to what this is and really research it and realize that it's not about, making a bunch of sales and how well I do with sales. It's not about that. Check out if you want proof, I work my business maybe 95, 99% on social media. Check out my Facebook like page, which is kind of like my business page. You won't see me pushing, the products and the programs and every other picture about Shakeology or TurboFire or Chalene Extreme. You won't see me doing that. Or check out my personal page. You won't see that. Check out my Instagram. You won't see that. What I'm trying to do, and what I always recommend that my team do, is just inspire people to live fit and live healthy. And there are lots of other, fitness things that I do. I run, I also spin. There's lots of different things that I do. You don't have to become this Beachbody robot. You just need to really believe in what Beachbody provides and that it has solutions. Beachbody has solutions. What we have as coaches, we have solutions for people so that people, if they can't get to the gym every day of the week that they want to get to the gym, they've got their backup plan at home. They can press play. Or if they can't join a gym at all, they've got their program at home. If they don't know what kind of a meal plan to follow, 99% of the people I talk to are like, what do I eat? The Beachbody programs come with amazing, tested meal plans. So, that's what this is about. Inspiring people into fitness and health and wellness and building a network of people. And we teach you. We teach you how to do that, because I know if you're thinking, well, I don't have any friends or family members who are into fitness. Practically any coach joining doesn't either. We teach you how to build a network of like-minded people just like you. Maybe they're moms, maybe they're stay-at-home moms, maybe they're working moms, maybe they're not moms, maybe they're college students, maybe they're gym owners. People just like you, build a network of those people, and from there, help the people who want help, and for the people that need a program or a product or this business, let them know about it. That's it. It's not pushing this on anyone. So you don't have to be that guy, just FYI. Okay, so why Beachbody? Okay, well, they are the #1 in the at-home fitness programs. There's no doubt about it. Anyone you talk to, they've heard of P90X. You could maybe say, have you ever heard of Beachbody? And they might say, I'm not so sure. But if you say P90X, Insanity, T25, Shakeology, 21 Day Fix, TurboFire, Brazil Butt Lift. Those are well-known names. Practically all the fitness magazines that I have here, in every single one of them, there's some kind of article on one of the fitness programs of Beachbodies, because they work. They work. And so many people. Our market of people that need what we have in terms of at-home fitness programs and supplementation is massive. Plus, the market of people who would want to do what we do, a business that is all centered around fitness, health, wellness, life balance, that's our picture. It's not just a shake. It's not just a fitness program. It's not just one thing or the other. It is the whole picture. Fitness, health, wellness, and a business opportunity around it. So our market of people who need something in fitness or need something in health or need something in nutrition or need a supplemental income or a full-time income, we have solutions for all those people. So all the people in the United States and Canada that have any kinds of those needs, which is most people, this is something that they could look into. So it's just a matter of you learning how to build your network. And again, we teach that. So why Beachbody? For me, one big reason where I said, okay, this is totally different for me, is that it's about fitness and health. And that's just something that I'm really passionate about. That's something that I know that one thing I noticed is when I was an instructor is it helped me stay accountable. And I would always tell people, when I was teaching class and people say, how do you, just keep that motivation? I said, it's you guys. You guys keep me motivated. You guys, make me want to continue to show up and be fit and healthy. Now, I'm not teaching right now. I haven't been teaching since last year. being a coach is what helps keep me accountable. I am constantly wanting to get more fit and figure out more about nutrition, learn more so I can teach people more. It helps me, it helps them. It's a win-win. So that's another reason why I chose to do this. And like I said, we have #1 selling products, P90X, TurboFire, Brazil Butt Lift. I kind of listed them there. By the way, you can take a snapshot of any of these PowerPoint screens if that's helpful for you. We always have new programs coming. I don't know if any of you are aware of this, but we have Insanity Max 30 that'll be launched in December. Super exciting. So this is, if you're on this and you're considering becoming a coach, this is a great time to join, because everyone is building up excitement with their friends and family and customers and people they meet about this new program, because there's a huge, I mean massive market of people who have done Insanity and either loved it and want the next best thing, or couldn't quite do it because it was a little too long and a little too hard. So Insanity Max 30 is only 30 minutes max. The longest you'll do one of those workouts is a max of 30 minutes. And I've done one of the workouts and it was awesome. But it's, again, it's got a modifier, someone that you can focus on the entire time for the whole entire video. You can actually select it so that you can just focus on the modifier. So it's doable for everyone, and it's short and it's effective. And then we've got the 21-Day Fix Extreme, the next level of the 21-Day Fix, which that was a huge program in and of itself, and that is going to launch in February. Okay, so just talked about those. So here's what coaching is not, all right? I just have to say a few things, because here's why. When you're considering the business, if you're anything like me, you have these preconceived notions. You just, right away, when someone is talking to you about the business, right away you're thinking, but is it this, is it that? I don't know if I want to join, because what if it's this? Okay, so let me just clarify some things. It's not about being a personal trainer or a nutritionist. For myself, that didn't scare me a whole lot. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, but I do have my certification in personal training, so that didn't like scare me. But we're still, even so, I don't try and act like a personal trainer or a nutritionist as a coach, because we are helping people online. And even if I did want to say, look, I'm a personal trainer, so do this and do that, I can't, because I can't physically assess the person. So what our role is as coaches is just to support people and give them accountability and give them, cheer them on. And when they have questions, help them find the answers. That's what we do as coaches. We really, truly just help and support people. And before they've even bought a program or product, we're just helping people. If someone's talking to me about, they want to get back into fitness, but, she has, 200 pounds to lose and she's just had a back surgery or whatever, I'm not going to be like, well, you should probably consider Insanity. No, if she's talked to me about the fact that she loves walking, I'm going to say, okay, well, let's talk about, getting back on that walking program that you did, and journaling your food intake. Just helping people and building relationships and connecting with them, not leading with this, oh, I got to make a sale. I got to tell her about some kind of program because she's got to do something. I got to make a sale. No, it's never like that, never should be like that. The programs come with workout calendars and meal plans. That's why you don't have to be a personal trainer or a nutritionist. They get with their program a meal plan that they can follow and a calendar. They know exactly what to do. So you're just there to support and provide accountability. You don't even need to try to be an expert. You don't even need to pretend like you're an expert. Not at all. You don't need a certification or a degree. My degree is in business management, human resources management. You don't need to have any kind of, or be an instructor. Some people ask me, do I need to be a fitness instructor to be successful? Absolutely not. Like I said, I'm not even teaching classes anymore. I mean, sure, you should be an instructor if you just love that and you always had that dream and you want to do that. It's super fun and really rewarding. But do you need that to build your business? Definitely not. Definitely not. My top coaches are not instructors. You do not need to have reached your own goal, your ideal weight. A lot of coaches think, well, I think I'm going to hold off on being a coach until I feel a little bit more fit myself. You're doing a disservice to yourself if you do that, because once you become a coach, you are never so committed in your fitness and health as when you become a coach. When you make that commitment that you're going to play this role of, I'm going to be on a journey, I'm going to have progress, I'm going to get some results, I'm going to inspire others. You make that commitment to be a coach, and those activities that you need to do to become more fit and to become healthier are much more likely to take place. My coaches end up getting more fit, their fittest actually, usually, after they become a coach. They decide to become a coach. You don't have to start working your business right away, but just easing yourself in and learning about the business and getting yourself in that mindset is huge. So when people tell me they need to reach their goal weight or their ideal weight first or lose more weight, I understand where that thought process comes from, but it really is more beneficial to you if you actually join now and get yourself on that track, because people will be inspired by that. People are not inspired by perfect. They're inspired by progress. At least the right kind of people are. Some people just get envious, but the right kind of people, the kind of people you want to attract, are very inspired by you being honest, you being real, you being on your journey. It's not about pushing products and dragging people into this. I never waste time. If someone doesn't get it, it's just like with fitness. If someone doesn't want to get fit, you can't make them want to get fit. If someone doesn't want to be in a business like this, you can't make them want to be in a business like this. There's no point of pushing products or dragging people into this. At least if you were to join my team or one of my coaches, they will tell you the same thing. There's no point in doing that. So that's not what we're about. That would be a waste of your time. And like I said, we teach you how to build your network, how to reach more people who actually want your help. So no need to feel pressure to make any sales. When I first joined, there was hardly anything that, really could be sold anyway. Everyone I knew already had my sister's Turbo Jam program, so it wasn't like I was going to make any sales of Turbo Jam. If I knew them, Shalene probably knew them, and they already had bought it, because I joined this, by the way, I've been doing this business for 6 years. And I joined the business in 2008. The opportunity itself started in 2006, I think. So definitely, well before I joined. And I already had a chance to see who the successful coaches were at the time, and I could kind of just model what they were doing, and I really liked who they were, and I could tell they were real people, and I could tell that they weren't, when I would watch like a YouTube video of theirs or see something on a blog, I could tell that they were not trying to push sales, and I could tell they didn't feel pressured to make sales. Because they would say, oh, I love Beachbody, but then actually, I prefer this, whey protein instead or whatever. Of course, this was prior to Shakeology. But I could just tell they were just being real and honest, and that's what we do as coaches. There's no need to be calling people or hosting home parties. I mean, if you want to do that, go for it. But you don't need to do this. This is a business, an era where we've moved into social media, and we can reach more people faster, and we're not, it's definitely still you're building a relationship. My coaches live all over the country in Canada, all over. Most of them are not anywhere near driving distance to me, yet I feel like they're my sisters, and a couple brothers. I have a couple guys on the team. But we've definitely built very, very strong relationships. And of course, we see each other at, the events out in California or Summit or whatever. But you're still building relationships, but there's no reason to be feeling like you have to be face-to-face and on the phone with people when there's so much that you can just do online. And it's so convenient, because if I haven't gotten online all day and I need to at 11 o'clock at night to message someone, I can, just so that I can make sure that I'm with my son through the evening and through homework and getting him to bed. And you work on your own schedule. It's amazing. It's not about advertising. You are on a journey and you're inspiring others. That's really what it ends up being. And it's not a pyramid scheme. Oh my gosh, I have to go here. Just because so many people, that phrase, it's an old school phrase. It's old school thinking. Pyramid schemes are illegal. There used to be a thing, well, I won't go into the whole definition of a pyramid scheme, but they used to exist and they're illegal. Illegal. So no such thing as that. I think the reason people get that impression is our organization the shape of a pyramid? Yes. Is any organization the shape of a pyramid? Yes. I know this very well, because as one of my first jobs in human resources management, I was in charge of making the organizational structure for our organization. And of course, you've got people at the top, then you've got the senior VPs, then you've got the senior directors, then you've got the directors, then you've got the senior managers, then you've got the managers, so on and so forth. And the people at the bottom made the least amount of money, but not in this organization. In this type of business, or at least with Beachbody, the way that this compensation structure works, the people at the bottom can make more than the people at the top. Someone who joins me can make more than me. I have coaches who, joined 6 years ago when I joined, and they are not necessarily even doing as well as some of my coaches who have joined just in the last couple of years. My very top coach, in fact, I think I've got her picture. Yeah, my very top coach right there, Mindy Wender. She joined about a year after I joined. And there are tons of people who joined in the first year way before Mindy did, and aren't doing anywhere near as well as Mindy's doing. I mean, Mindy's well into, she's one of my $1 million earners now. And here she, started off as someone who was working as an office manager, working full time with a toddler at home, and she was making like $10 an hour. And now, she makes more in 1 week than she used to make an entire year. Do the math on that. But that's just my point. It doesn't matter with this type of organization. Unlike a corporate organization or the organization of a school or any other type of typical company, in this organization, no matter how far down you are, it just depends on what you put into this. That's how you're going to do. It doesn't matter that you are hundreds of levels below me or something like that. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you put into it. And I love that. I would not even be doing this business opportunity if I didn't feel like it's equal opportunity for everyone coming in. So you should be a coach if you just like helping people and you're willing to be on a fitness and health journey and you believe in what Beachbody provides. And it's as simple as that. There's no other, well, you need to have these skills, or you should have this type of a background, or you should be this outgoing personality, or you should, because I'm actually very introverted. I'm a very shy person, and that was another thing that scared me about getting into this. But there's no certain personality type. There's no certain, I've got nurses, I've got doctors, I've got teachers on the team. I mean, people from all different professions. I've got college students, all different ages and fitness levels. And I can never just say, oh, this person's going to be really successful because they have this, this, and this. No, all I know is you need to like helping people. You need to be willing to be on a fitness journey, and you need to believe in what Beachbody provides. Everything else is going to come from your gut. How much do you want to put into it? How passionate are you about this? And anyone can do this who wants to do this. I just want to say the successful coaches, like I just said, come from different fitness levels and ages. They're always learning and applying. I'm going to go over in a second the training that you will receive if you were to join myself or one of my coaches or anyone from my organization, the training that you would receive. And the coaches who are successful are just being themselves. They're just helping other people. They're not being pushy. You can go to, you can look them up online, the successful coaches, and you'll see that they're not being salesy and they're not being pushy. And if you find one who is, chances are they are not actually being successful right now, because that's usually a huge turnoff. And they're usually working full-time, parents, juggling busy lives. I've had, people say to me, well, I really have thought, I really would like to be a coach, but I don't know if I can do it because I work full-time. I'm like, I worked full-time too. I worked full-time while building this business for 2 years. I got to the point where I was making so much of my Beachbody business that I didn't need to keep working full-time, which was a huge dream of mine. I mean, the reason I really wanted to do this was not even so much that I could resign. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I wanted to be able to resign my husband. I wanted us to be stay-at-home parents. That was like one of those big, scary, cool dreams that I had, and I was able to do that. But I made it happen while I was working full-time, just fitting this in early in the morning or late at night and on weekends where I could. And the successful coaches are getting fitter as a result of coaching. So the training that you will receive. Oh, it starts with number 2. That's interesting. Number 1, when you enroll, Beachbody automatically creates your website. So it's not like you're like, oh, I've got to be techie and I've got to figure out how to create a website once I become a coach. No. Once you create, if you know how to create an account online, and it actually walks you through the whole thing, and it's pretty quick. You're filling out your name, your address, the typical stuff, and it's going to ask you what you want your screen name to be. And once you figure out your screen name, it's going to give you a website, beachbodycoach.com/ whatever your screen name is. So it automatically sets up a website for you. Done. All you need to do is load up your picture there and a little bio about yourself. And then number 2, we give you guidance and steps on where to start and you'll get trainings from me or whoever you join, and you can watch them on your own time. It's your own business to do what you can when you want. Now, I can't speak for other, I know there are some people or prospects on the call who are, looking to join someone from another team. So many amazing coaches in this business. Seriously, so many amazing coaches. So I'm not saying, hey, if you join that team, you're not going to get this. I'm not saying that at all. Check with them. I just don't want to speak for them and say, hey, you're going to get this, this, and this, when I don't know what other teams provide. Most teams have a fantastic set of trainings that you can access. We definitely do. I have a whole training site. Anyone on my team has access to that site. Any of their coaches have access to that site. If you were to join one of my coaches or one of their coaches, they would still have access to the site. Everyone in the whole entire organization has access to all of my trainings, all of my team calls, everything free. And you would get a phone call to go over things and answer more questions. Now, with the coaches that join me directly, I do that, one-to-one. I also do a follow-up call. A lot of my coaches handle that the same exact way. You would just need to find out from the person that you're joining, what they provide. Most of them have excellent systems set up. You would get social media training to start off. That's something I really focus on in my trainings. Most coaches joining the business haven't been using Facebook on a regular basis. That's normal. And they don't want to all of a sudden start posting about fitness, health, and nutrition. That's normal too, and we wouldn't want you to do that. Your friends and family would block you. So I fully train my coaches on where to begin with social media, where to begin with Facebook, how to just gradually weave in, a fitness or health or nutrition post every now and then in a way that would make people want to respond, in a way that's not a turn off and going to be judged. You also would get a critical activities training and a daily to-do list, so you know what to do each day. You get a weekly team call. I do a weekly team call, and it's always either myself or top coaches who I have as guest speakers giving their best practices. And that is every Thursday night, and all my stuff is recorded, so you can watch it at any time. You get webinars as needed to cover more in-depth topics. You get access to my training site, my Facebook group. I have also a 30-day new coach training, and that's an option for new coaches of mine to join. And any of my coaches, their new coaches can join it as well. And that's an excellent training, but it's just optional. And it's constant ongoing training as needed and one-to-one support. And really, if you just want to get in for the discounts, that's cool too. At least it's cool with me. I have lots of coaches who just want to get the discount on Shakeology, and that is a no-brainer. If you're hooked on Shakeology, it is a no-brainer to just join as a coach because it's cheaper. Even given that you'll be paying a $15 website fee, it's still cheaper. You're still going to pocket at least $15 a month because you get such a great discount on Shakeology. More details. All right, there's so much here that if you don't mind, if you could just take a picture or read, really fast. I think I've pretty much gone over all of this stuff. Let me see if I can just touch on a few of them that maybe I haven't gone over, because I know we're at 30 minutes right now and I'm almost done. Whoops, let me go back. Okay, so just some more details. Like I said, Beachbody sets up your website and it's ready within an hour or so. Beachbody is very well known, highly reputable company, and we are growing huge right now. We are growing absolutely huge. I just went to the leadership conference and our numbers are just like blowing my mind. You get 25% commission on any sales from your customers. It's 15% if your customer is a club member. There's no pressure to make sales or increase in rank. It is your business. It's whatever you decide to do with it. You get team cycle bonuses, and that is what grows exponentially, are the team cycle bonuses. If you help your team become successful and you train them, which that's a high priority for me, is to train my team, something I love doing anyway. That team bonus really grows exponentially if you decide to build a team. You get 25% discounts on everything. You get first access to all the products that we launch. You get free trainings and webinars and conference calls through the team that you join. You don't stock any products. You get a huge support system. There's incentive programs to help you get customers assigned to you. That is super cool. Beachbody has tons of traffic going into beachbody.com and through infomercial. And once you become qualified to receive those customers, you are going forward always going to get commission on anything that they purchase. That is super cool, and it's not hard to qualify for those programs. You can cancel it anytime. If you decide this is just not for me, you can cancel it anytime. You do not have to stay in. There's no penalty fees or anything, like that. Okay, so how much time and money? You can put in as little time or as much as you want. I'd say the successful coaches put in about 10 to 20 hours, focused hours a week. So, break that up however you want. I've got some, coaches who are RNs who, work 12-hour shifts. And so they, might not work on certain days, but then other days they might put in 4 hours to make up for it. So, it's your own schedule. You make your own schedule. You put in as much as you want. If you want to put in, an hour 1 week and nothing for 2 weeks, that's cool too. Totally up to you. $39.95 to start. That's a one-time fee. So for the price of a shirt, you can start a business that could be making you 6 or 7 figures, 3 years from now. I mean, I have several coaches on my team who are well into 6 figures now, who have only been doing this 2 to 3 years. And I have coaches now, let's see, I have 2 millionaire coaches so far. And I know that's going to continue to rise. So pretty cool what you can do with the business as long as you're consistent. I know it sounds too good to be true, but as long as you are consistent, a lot of people, will give up after a couple months. And I just have to tell you right now, you got to stick with it, because it's something where it's about building relationships and learning and, building momentum. And so, your first couple of months where you're really just learning, that is kind of the toughest time. But a lot of people aren't willing to endure that. But if only they knew how great it gets. So if you do decide to join, then at your second month, that's when you start paying the website fee, which is $15.95 a month. So with your second month, you start paying $15.95 a month for your website fee. If you decide to buy a challenge pack while you're enrolling, then you don't have to pay that $39.95 startup fee. It's free. So if you were joining someone, you would go to their website, you click coach, you go through the process of actually setting up your coach account, and then if you choose a challenge pack in that sign up process, you'll see at the checkout they've deducted $39.95. You don't pay your startup fee, it's free. So that's an awesome, awesome deal. And what a challenge pack includes is Shakeology on Home Direct, the fitness program of your choice, plus a 30-day free trial to the club membership, which has this really cool customized meal planning tool and everything to it. But if you don't want that after the 30 days, you can just cancel that. If you don't want your Shakeology after that, you can cancel that. You're never locked in. That's what I love about Beachbody. You're never locked in. And if ever, something comes up, you go to your coach, ask your coach what to do or whatever. But it's just an amazing business. I want to thank you all for being here today. I want you to contact the person who invited you to this webinar. Ask questions. No one's going to blame you. Anyone who's joined this business knows that we fear the unknown. And so you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Join now, get your feet wet before the big fitness season hits. In December, in January, well, December's when Insanity Max 30 is going to launch. So people are going to be going nuts for that. People are going to be buying that no matter what. So whether you become a coach, now or you wait until next year, you might miss that big. It's going to be a big explosion. So January and February, definitely, obviously, with New Year's resolutions, is a huge time for coaches. That's when they really pick up huge momentum. And so it's a great time of year to get yourself in, get your feet wet, start to understand things, start to get your momentum, start to get in your groove. Perfect timing. And most of us, I know definitely for myself, I always have a new coach training starting at least once a month. So I've got another one starting in about a week and a half, I'd say. And so I usually like to get my coaches on board, get them the starter information, have our phone call, and then I can put them into that new coach training group. So again, contact that coach that invited you today. Thank you for being here. If there's any questions that you have, you can contact me at coachinginfo411@yahoo.com. Sorry, I meant to put that up there. Coachinginfo411@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for being here today, and we're signing off. See you later.